How times have changed. There used to be a time when men used to be in fierce competition with each other, trying to seduce one woman. Today, it's multiple women who are competing with each other, for guys including the Chads and Tyrones of our times. But the thing is, those guys don't even want to be with these women anymore. Men have standards too. We want feminine, lovely homemakers. Otherwise, we don't need a woman. When women say they don't need a man that is fine, that is their choice. They can go and have meaningless relations with guys who want to have meaningless relations with them. Personally, I don't regard those men, or the women who engage in it also, as high-class people. There is an inverse relationship with how you treat women and how they treat you. The better I have treated women, the worse they have treated me. When I didn't care about them and didn't think about them often, they were obsessed with me. And when I finally was interested and tried to set my game up, the better I was towards them, the worse I got treated. The moral of the story is, don't try. Women are never satisfied. They are not designed to be content. They are designed to be unhappy. No matter what you do, they'll always look for what you don't do. And this is why the world of relationships is where it's at today, straight in the gutters. When you are young, approaching a woman and asking for a date is profoundly intimidating because all kinds of fears pop into your head. Women usually do like going on a date because who knows what will come of it. You may find a guy you want to marry, and he may want to marry you. But find out a bit about each other, and then go from there. Put all your pride and arrogance out of your life, guys and gals, and behave like you want to see others behave towards you. Then you can enter into a mutually respectful and uplifting experience. Marriage is hard work sometimes, so don't think it is this endless bliss because you are burning rocket fuel at a rapid rate for a fair while. That will disappear, and then you are left with who that person is at their core. So use your brain. This is sometimes wasted advice, and I've been there too. Honestly, it's common sense. If you tell someone something enough times eventually, they'll get it and just move on. That's kind of why guys are just abandoning the dating world. You either self-isolate because you feel that society wants you dead, or you're just content with your life and the things that you do have. The point is, you realize that you have to accept that you made a bad decision. But women in this day and age don't want to accept the fact that they wasted something, and they have to accept that again. Logically, you really should have seen this coming. We often see women online posting about creepy men or just declaring a distaste for men in general. But specifically, here I want to talk about approaching them. I think there has been a natural response from men that's resulted in fewer men approaching women in person and interacting in other ways. A content creator recently polled their channel and found out that out of around 35,000 people, more than 50% of men answered were hesitant or even refused to say that they were comfortable approaching women because they thought they'd be thought of as creepy guys stalking girls. In the same poll, 11% said they totally avoid women, and the rest either said that approaching women doesn't bother them or that they don't approach them for other reasons. So, more than 60% of guys basically said they wouldn't approach a woman because they fear being labeled as a creep. How crazy is that? Let's examine a few of the sociological elements that have led to the decline of marriage. The male desire for marriage has never been lower, as seen in the poll, and this is probably the main reason that casual intimacy is spreading far and wide. In a casual setting, men and women don't need to promise to get married, have children, honor, obey, and cherish each other, among other absurd things you say in marriage vows. On particular websites, anyone can look for a professional woman. Intimacy is the primary trait that men seek in a partner. Everything else is also available to them via other channels. Can they demand money from a woman? No, since the male always needs to be the one to take care of things in a relationship. Guys still have the option to look for male friendship. Are they able to look for a friend? I believe they can find that in both persons and dogs. Therefore, truthfully and without offense, what men desire from women is what's down under. Guys are afraid women will make a scene if they're approached, so they just completely avoid it. Again, I believe this is the case since so many videos online these days include people discussing how much they detest being approached or how much they dislike guys. I believe that many individuals have lost sight of the fact that we are designed to interact with one another. So, the shocking truth is that it's basically women's unwarranted behavior that has led to guys not approaching women, and I think that really needs to change. Society has come down to a default instinct being changed, because women have been so used to it that they started taking it for granted. Men have had enough of it. No wonder men are careful. We live in a world where there is always a chance we end up on social media as a story they will use to get attention, respect, or bolster their feminism. And the worst case, they'll shame you with a name, picture, or video, just for them to feel better about themselves. Fear and respect go hand in hand with all things in nature. You fear the predator in the wild enough so that you respect it enough not to approach. One misadventure in our civilized society can cause a man a complete loss of his reputation, finances, and in the worst case, freedom. Being angry at the predator is irrelevant because it is in its nature. Online dating is a vicious cycle. Men spam women so women miss good possible matches, which makes men spam more. It's a crazy cycle. Tinder has been doing this for years, and the worst part is that they never disclose how many times your profile has been shown. You could be shadow banned and your profile hidden from everyone and still buy subscriptions. Another thing is that they show your profile more often after buying the premium and show it less the longer you have it. Then they offer you a more expensive premium if you want to get it shown more often. Very predatory towards most men on there. The whole reason dating apps don't work is because they ask for your income, height, and weight. They leave very little room for conversation at that point. It's not hard to talk to women in person because there's more mystery about you and you can play the scene however you need to. Taking a broad approach, online dating apps or search algorithms in general are very powerful tools. Tools of any kind always make the strong people stronger and the weak people weaker. If you're not benefiting from the game, don't play the game. You better take a different strategy, or wait until the algorithms have self-destroyed. I think this is again consistent with the hypothesis of a generational risk aversion trend, and we know what risk they are averting. A risk that destroys men physically, financially, and emotionally. It ends up being a terrible one-sided investment of time and energy that could have been much better spent at the gym, enjoying time with friends or interests, or putting dollars in the bank. Tinder is no different than the real world when it comes to male-female interaction. The problem is on the app, people always shoot for the top no matter what they look like in the mirror, so they're wasting their time going after that small percentage of getting someone who's way out of their range and ignoring the ones that are on their level. You can't be 5 or 4 sending messages to a 10 and get mad when she doesn't respond. You know that woman wouldn't respond in real life as well. You played yourself. That's why dating apps in general in this society are doomed to fail. Women aren't going to pay for attention they don't need to pay for. And if 90% of men on the apps aren't getting matches or meetups, then they are going to stop paying. So, who is paying for the apps? The point is, whether you're approaching women or not, or whether women are finding the 1% man over online dating platforms, they're only going to be competing against other women. Why? Because men have realized the juice is definitely not worth the squeeze. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.